Hey, this is Dave Spicer with Spicer Bees. We're doing our 10-day inspection today. Last video you showed we checked the queen. Today we're going to do our 10-day inspection. Make sure our queen is still laying in the box. As you remember, we dumped a few bees on the front. So we showed the good, the bad, the ugly. Lit my smoker today, only because with an inspection you want to have your smoker lit. Learn how to light your smoker ahead of time. You're going to want this lit at least 10 minutes before you go. It's got to be nice, cool smoke. You don't want it to be burning. If you've got flames inside here, and what it should look like is there's your pine needles, and I'm running pine needles. You can run natural burlap, you run cotton, virtually almost anything. So we're just going to give them a little whiff up in the front, nice and easy, nothing major. Good news is they're bringing in some yellow pollen. They don't need pollen unless they're out to try to feed young, so that's a good positive sign. I do want to, some people have asked, and I like my wintergreen alcohol, just on my bare hands, cover things up a little bit here. There's going to be a feeder underneath here. And we're going to top the feeder off today. We'll see how much they've eaten so far here. Yep, so they're pretty well empty. This is not what you want to do. They've got just a little bit right there. So you don't want to run out with your feeder, just because that slows up wax production. And this is on foundation, wax foundation, so we really need them to draw that wax out. And gently take that off. I'm going to cockeye that just a little bit. Good sign. You see right now we've got about 5 frames that they're in here working. Right here is double stack row, double stack row. We're looking for those double stack rows because that's where we're going to anticipate seeing where the brood's going to be. Wherever the bees are double stacked, give them a little bit of smoke, not much. Take this little piece of burr comb off, nice and easy. When you open up a hive, we're going to open it up on this side and we're going to work our way to the left. Always start on frame number 2. You can call it frame number 2, you can call it frame number 10. I use a standard hive tool. You can use a hive tool, a J hook. There's times where I use an ultimate hive tool. This one just has a few bees working. This is old wax foundation from last year. We'll just shake the bees off a little bit because I'm going to set this on the ground. Once I have a whole bunch of bees working on this, I try to use a frame perch. So this is frame number 3, and as you can tell, it's day 10, and they're already drawing that wax out right here. So, and if you look, they're actually putting in nectar right here. Now it could be nectar or some sugar syrup left over. This is all empty the way they're working this through the hole, so they may be thinking that the queen's going to end up potentially laying something right up in there. We're going to have to hold off and see. It's still a little bit early. You have to remember with the queen, once she starts laying eggs, it's 21 days. 21 days until you get your first worker out. That's brand new wax being drawn out right there. So they've drawn it, they've filled it. It's all filled full of nectar or sugar syrup. Right here is green pollen. They're working on this side. You can see they've got a long way to go. But that's a food frame, so your next frame in, quite possibly. When you put your frames back, put them right back together. Leave that space, squinch these together, so then when you move them all together, you don't have to move individual frames. Lessens your chance to kill bees. There you go, cat brood even. So let's take a look here for the queen. I don't want to drop her off. She could be on this frame. Quite possibly. Now, a quick cursory look says no. But that doesn't mean anything. Right now, what we're looking for is we wanted to see if we have a queen. You don't always have to find your queen. We're gonna find her here today, but you don't always have to find your queen. What you're really looking for is, do you have eggs? And right in here, and be real gentle. You can blow on them easy, or you just kind of pat them a little bit with your hive tool to get right out of the way. I don't know if you could see that in the video, but right underneath that tool, that's all full of eggs. They look like little mini grains of rice. An egg is an egg for only 3 days, and then it's a larva. So it'll hatch. This right here, see this? Now, this is what you're looking for. Nice flat cappings, relatively flat cappings. That's brand new cap brood. There's older larvae right here. They look like, well, little grubs in a circle. Nice pearly white larvae. That's what you're looking for. You're looking for those nice flattish type cappings. So we don't have any capped honey to show you the difference on the type of cappings, but that is a great sign. Absolute great sign. And this side is absolutely full of eggs. Now the nice thing about the eggs, when you see the eggs, you know that the queen's been there sometime within the last 3 days. So if you remember right, 10 days ago, and you're looking for single eggs in the cells by and fire. That doesn't mean they don't misfire once in a while, put 2 in. But you're looking for single eggs. And you're looking for mostly no cells being missed. And I'm not seeing much. She's doing a really good job. So with that, I'll put this frame back. But you know that you're in the, oh, that's where I was going. When I dumped those bees, you remember when I shook them off last time with the outer inner cover, with the feeder. And I dumped some down here on the edge. I didn't realize until I looked at the video afterwards, I dumped some off in the front. So there was a measure of my concern when I was going to open this hive, if I was going to find my queen or not. In this particular case, we know she's already here. Everything's in balance. You've got the feed, whether it's on top, but you've seen it in the frames already with the nectar that they're storing off. They're going to make honey out of that, or they're just going to leave it as nectar basically and backfeed it that fast. You've got some pollen. You've got pollen if you watch the bees in the front bringing it in on their baskets. And now we know we've got eggs, larvae, and brood. So technically we already know that our hive right now is in balance. So if we didn't have time or didn't want to really go looking for the queen, we could call it quits right there. So we already know we're good. We do want to go looking for the queen because I'd like to see just how big she's gotten. There she is. So we have a little piece of burr comb right here we're gonna have to deal with, but there's your queen right there. You'll see as she works along, she's not running. She just stuck her head in the hole. She's looking in these holes. She's looking for a spot to lay. So she's going through saying, okay, did I hit this spot? Is this spot cleaned out? Although this is all brand new cells. So she's looking to see if it's all set to go. And she's been on this frame before, because here's your cap brood down here. Started in the middle. And if you notice, yes, you've got a few that, well, I'd say missed, but she backfilled. That's got a larva in it. That's got a larva in it. That's got a little larva in it. So they might have had something in those cells there, or she may have just missed it as she was firing up. Now, you'll see she's in the corner. We have to be careful when we go to put them back. So we'll deal with her in a minute. What we're going to do right here is we're just going to get a few of these bees off of this piece of burr comb. We can't leave the burr comb in here because she'll start to put eggs and things if the cell gets deep enough. So we need to actually cut that off. So you just be real easy. See, that's even into the comb underneath it. But you want to be really easy with it. You know that your queen, you already found your queen. She's on the other side of the frame or the top side. So you just want to get that off. You don't want them to do that. Hopefully they'll straighten those cells out. We'll have to watch that next time around. All right, where is she? She's right up here on the corner. We can't put the frame in here, back in the box with her right there next to this ear of the frame. There's this little tapered spot of this frame where the frames hit each other right here. And there's a hole right here. That's a little bit better, but you really want her off the edge of that frame. So now we can chase her off, just bump her a little bit with the finger, although she's moving right around. So now that we know she's there, we'll put her right back in. Nice and easy. We know she's right there. She's on this side, so we have to watch it. Technically, you say, well, you could flip the frame. No, we're not going to mess them up by rearranging their furniture today. I just want to see if this one's all nectar, which I kind of believe it probably would be. So, no, I think, no, she's got eggs all the way out here. And some nectar. But if you look, this is all brand new wax that they're building. You see it's nice and pearly white. Oh, here's another piece. That one's got a little bit of a queen cup. Did they make it a cell? It's only a cell if they put a put an egg in it. Now that's something you're going to want to watch. And when you work this, kind of be over the top. Hit them just a little bit or blow on them a little bit. I don't like the way that hangs down, so we're going to take that out. If that had an egg in it, some people get really concerned. You have to remember, this is a packaged queen. These bees didn't know this queen before they were all put into this box together. So they don't trust her. So it's okay to see some cells put up. Don't ever take them down. I'll take them down once I know that queen is real viable. But she's a living creature. She's been bred. You don't know exactly how good she came out. So it's like any living organism. Sometimes organisms can have some issues. Now this is where you want to be careful when you put it in. This side's easy. There weren't any bees. This side's got some bees. We knew the queen was over here. So you want to be nice and easy, nice and gentle, back and forth. Bump it just a little bit, not hard. Now you know your queen's inside here on this frame. Working on that. She should relatively stay there. And we're going to see what's going on over here. See how far they got onto this frame. And there we go. They're building this right out. So they've had a really good time. And our temperatures had not been that great. Today's nice. It's almost 60 degrees. Yesterday was snowing at 9 o'clock in the morning. And it snowed all night, although we didn't accumulate anything. So it was cold. So now we're going to put that one right back there. So they've got this half, frame number 3. They've got that half that they're just starting on. They've got a long way to go. They've got most of this side done, about 3/4 of it. So the frame will be usable to the queen once the cell is about halfway drawn out. So if you really look, we have 2 frames on each side that are not drawn out at all. So they've got a little ways to go, and be real easy when you push these back. But if you push them all back at once, see, we've got a couple of bees right there on the corners, but they left. And you want to make sure you don't squeeze any. They're not going to like that. If they hear the crunch, their sisters will come out and potentially give you some positive reinforcement. And where you're barehanded and bare arms, positive reinforcement is not a good thing today. So we will put this frame back in together. You're going to squeeze your frames back here, nice and easy. I'm going to center my frames up on the box because as the season goes, you will find that all of these will spread open. They'll get propolis like this right here on the edges, and they'll start putting it in between. So they'll start sticking the frames and they'll start getting wider by the end of the season. So that's all we have to do. We know right now, 10 days out, they've already drawn out 5 frames, roughly. So they've got 5 usable frames out of that. 4 anyway, really good shape. They've got 2 and 2 on the outside, and they're just now working on the thirds on both sides. This one's a quarter, third done, maybe on the inside. Could be as much as half. So we will put this back on, the nice little hive feeder. We don't have any bees right there, so that's good. We'll be nice and easy when we put this down. I'll clean up that one. I missed that one when we put them on there. And then we're going to top off the feeder. So we got some feed right here. Anytime you're in your bees, especially the young ones right now, you want to make sure you're topping them right off all the time. The more sugar syrup you give them, right now we're getting a bit of a nectar flow with the maples going on. I did end up getting, so we'll put this right in. They will appreciate that. And you don't want to wait too long when you're doing it, because with the bees flying around, they can get right in that, and then you have to fish them out. I don't like to see them drown. Their sisters will clean them up. And that's all we have to do. So now once a week, because I waited too long on that last go. So like I said before, this is the demonstration yard. So this is where we teach bees. We've taught bees here for 8 years. We continue doing it. You'll see the good, the bad, the ugly. I shouldn't have let the top feeder run out. I did. It didn't run out, probably ran out today, maybe yesterday. So every 7 days, check that top feeder or whatever you're doing for feed. Make sure they don't run out until you get basically your 2 deeps built out. So this is the first one. They're working on it. They probably got another, I'm going to guess right now, 2 weeks to go. They'll have those frames. We'll have a second deep on. But in about 2 weeks, might be 3, but in 2 weeks, we're going to check these bees again. We'll post another video out. So in about 14 days, we'll post it out, because by that time, I would expect Some of those bees will already be hatching, the cat brood, and they'll hatch. So, and then they'll start growing in numbers. And that's where I'd expect all of a sudden those frames start getting worked out and finished off. That's all there is to your 10-day inspection. Next inspection's 14 days. Don't forget to top your feeders off at least once a week. Have a good day. Thank you.